Hello, you're welcome once again to New Focused Approach Mathematics Basic 8. This is the revised edition, and in this lesson, we want to look at using the concept of gradient to establish equation of a line in the form of y equals ms plus c, where m is the gradient and the c is the y-intercept. This lesson can be found in page 121. Let's use GeoGebra to demonstrate the concept of equation of a line. What I want to do right now is to draw any straight line at all, taking the point maybe from here and draw a straight line. Now let's see, realize that after drawing the straight line, GeoGebra has been able to recognize the point A, which is negative 4, 3, and the point B, which is 6, 3. Then the equation of the line F, okay, the function of F is negative 3x plus 5y equals negative 3. And as I change the point of B or A, you see that the equation also will change. So when I go this way, you can also see change here as well. So any line that you draw must have an equation. An equation can be in the form of this, or it can be in the form of y equals ms plus c, like y is equals to, here we have 0.33x minus that. Now let's see what happens to the various parameters of a linear equation. With this, we have this particular straight line here, and the straight line has the equation y equals negative 4x plus 1. The negative 4 here represents the gradient of the line, and the plus 1 here, we call it the intercept on the y-axis. When I change the intercept to, let's say, 2, you see that the line will cut the y-axis at 2, and the equation will come like this. If I change the y to 3, you see that it will cut it at positive 3. Now let me try changing it to negative maybe 4, and you realize that with negative 4, the straight line will pass through the y-axis at negative 4. We call it the y-intercept. Y-intercept. And that of the gradient too. Now let's observe as I change the gradient. Now the gradient is negative 1. Look at the slope. If the gradient is 2 or 3, look at the slope as well. Now when I move it to positive, so the line will change to a different orientation. Okay, that is where we have the positive gradient. So here is gradient of 2, 3, 4, 5 in that order. And remember that as I change the gradient now, look at the part of the equation here also changes. So that is what we call the equation of a line. Now, how do we come out with this particular equation of a line? We have a way of establishing it. So let's try and do that right now. So for this line, the point here will be having x as y-intercept, and then, y as y-intercept, and then s as 0. So let me assume that I want to call this to a general value of c. Let's call it c, y-intercept. Let's call it c as a constant. Now, because the point here, anytime you draw a line, where the line will pass becomes our y-intercept. So here it's passing through 2. I should have put 2 here, but I want to call it c for now because I want to generalize it. Then on the point here, we're supposed to be 6 against 5. I want to call it xy. It can be some value of x and some value of y. If I try to find the gradient of this line with the points 0c and xy, then I will say m is equals to y2, so y minus y1, which is c, over x, okay, minus 0. Now remember this over 1. If I do cross multiplication, I will get m into bracket x minus 0 is equals to y minus c. Of course, s minus 0 will still give us the x, so I can have my mx is equals to y minus c. Now trying to make y the subject and I group like terms, then I will say y is equals to mx plus c. Now this is a general form of equation of every straight line. It must always have y value, y-intercept, gradient, and then x-intercept. So y is the y coordinate or the function name, M is the gradient of that line, X is the S-intercept, and C is the Y-intercept. Good. Now, we can use this idea to solve series of questions. Let's say we have a question like this: find the gradient and y-intercept from the equation of the line. And this is the equation of the line. Before we can know the y-intercept and we can know the gradient, unless we put the equation to look like this: ms plus c. Every equation that look like this, then we can know that the c portion becomes the y-intercept, whilst the m portion becomes the gradient. And so we will rewrite the whole of this. Okay, the whole of this can be written as 3y. Okay, let me make it equal to positive 4x plus 6, because I'm trying to regroup them. If I divide everything by 3, then I'll have 4x over 3 here plus 6 also over 3. In the simplest form, I can say y is equals to 4x over 3 plus 2. In this case, the 4 over 3 represent our gradient, whilst 2 represent our y-intercept. I hope it makes sense. Let's try another one. Here they say find the equation of a line with the slope 2 and the y-intercept being -3. We know that our equation must always obey ms plus c, y equals ms plus c. So now our equation can be written as m. Now, according to the question, the slope is 2, so 2 of x. The intercept on the y-axis is -3, so we put -3 here, and that becomes the equation of the line, that is having a slope of 2 and the y-intercept of -3. Maybe let's take the last example and see. Find the equation of a line that passes through the point this and has a slope of that. Okay, so again, y equals ms plus c. Now, we don't know what c is, but we know our slope to be this. Okay, so what we have to do is that this is a point that the line is passing through. So this is x component and this is y component. And so I can put -3 in place of y. My gradient is 2 over 5. S component is -1. C I don't know, so I have to make C the subject. Trying to multiply through by the LCM, I will say -15 is equals to -2 plus 5c. Right? Then again, I can further simplify this by grouping like terms. So I can have -15 plus 2 is equals to 5c. Then I can have -13 is equals to 5c. So dividing both sides by 5, c becomes -13 over 5. And so the question is find the equation of the line. So the equation of the line therefore becomes y is equals to the gradient, which is 2 on 5x, minus the constant, which is that's minus 13 over 5. And so that becomes the equation of the line. We can keep it like this or make it a bit beautiful by multiply through by the LCM. We can say 5y is equals to 2x minus 13. You can also write it this way. Whichever way you go, it becomes equation of a line. I'm sure this has really helped you to understand this. Go ahead and solve more questions. Thanks so much for watching.